everybody, and welcome to Mayor Elizabeth Jones's Friday Hour.
To the moon.
Yes, with my usual guest star, Kaye Lazar.
Me again.
Yes, and I brought some really good tomatoes
Oh.
that my dad brought me.
Well, don't. You gave me a gift?
Yeah.
Is it a surprise? Thank you.
Well,
let me see what it is. Wow. Oh, wow. I feels like a fruit.
Yes.
Now, if any of you people are home watching this on color TV, this is very red. Don't we didn't color this like Ted Turner did. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy them.
I certainly shall.
Yeah.
Nothing, as Guy Clark says, nothing better than homegrown tomatoes.
That's right. Yes, absolutely.
I had some tomatoes. I had a bagel with cheese and tomatoes, sliced tomatoes on it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And tomato. Yeah, you can't get. The tomatoes are, they're good for you too. Lipocene and everything.
Oh yeah.
Oh, if you think that we had a bad dinner, it's
Right.
there's thunder rumbling in the background.
Right.
No, it's not like we're starving and we haven't eaten anything all day.
Yes.
And any moment the rain may come down, so don't.
Right. Okay.
So just bear with us if you hear it.
Yes.
We can hear it. I don't know if the people can hear it.
Right.
I'll just talk louder if I could do that.
Yeah.
I'm not really good at.
Yeah.
Somebody actually said, why don't you use your normal tone of voice when you're in a church or something? I said, this is my normal tone of voice. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh man. I was thinking about all the places we used to go. We don't go anymore.
Yes.
Places that they don't even have anymore.
That are defunct.
Defunct.
Yeah, out of business. Whatever
Yeah.
you call it. So.
You speak Yiddish, I say. Defunct.
Yes.
No.
Right.
That means kaput.
Yes.
Gestoffen.
Yes.
Now, like, what do you remember as a kid that you used to like to do?
I remember.
Where'd you like to go?
I used to love to go to Ames.
Ames department store.
Yes, and Bradlees.
Well, let me tell you about Ames. Ames. I remember Ames being a nice store. They were the first place they used computer.
Wow.
You know how
Yeah.
they would look at the price tag and then they'd say $342 or something.
Yes. Yes.
But at Ames they actually had the symbol on the side with the number, and every the cashier had to type out 6 7 4 T 4 2 2, and it was like a 10 letter, and then the next one would come, the next one. People would be in line all day, or not all day, but for like a good 10 minutes to buy like 5 things, and then the line would get longer. And I always felt that it went out of business because it didn't have the thing that maybe that hadn't been invented yet, but they had they thought they had a great thing with that UPC symbol with the number on there and all those parallel lines, but then it came crashing down when people just didn't want to wait in line anymore.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Now, what was the other story you told me?
Bradlees.
Bradlees had a good men's wear department. I bought a blue double-breasted suit there for, at the time, not all that expensive, like $40, and I had it for years, and it always looked good on television. And then before it went out of business, I bought a black double-breasted sport coat with white polka dots. And I think 2 weeks ago I wore it on one of the shows I do. So I still have it, and that's my souvenir of Bradlees. Yes.
Yeah.
What else do you remember?
I remember Tallheimers.
Tallheimers.
Millen Road.
Tallheimers and Millen Roads, to me, they were too expensive. They were real department stores in the old way. And I remember I remember the one down in Richmond had a little like what was it, cologne coming out of a faucet, and people would go there and just brush against it. It was the same cologne going over and over again, but people treated it like holy water, and they would put their fingers in there and tap it. It was a quick way to get cologne there, and that was at, I think, Miller and Rhodes.
Yeah.
I can't remember the difference between the two.
I used to like the Santa at Miller Roads and the Snow Bear at time.
Okay, okay. I wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as Santa came and gave me gifts, I didn't really care where I got them. The snow bear never came to my house. In fact, if the snow bear came to my house, I'd probably, I don't know, call the animal shelter. Say, hey, he's gonna eat me if he. I don't think he's here to give me presents.
Right. There's actually another store.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's actually another store called Nichols.
Nichols. Tell me about Nichols.
It was toward Colonial Heights.
Okay.
And we used to go there many years ago since when I was really little.
Nichols. Okay, I may have heard of it.
It's like a department store. It was kind of like a Walmart
Yeah.
/
Target.
Ames and Target and all that.
There was one store. Do you remember Hills?
Yes, Hills.
Hills was a very nice department store in sort of like the Kmart. It was sort of like a Kmart.
Right.
And I used to go there all the time, and there was so many good bargains. It wasn't there for very long, only there for like 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And it was a very good store. And what I remember about it was, if you got your film developed there, you got this was before digital film. You would bring your roll of film, they would develop it and give you, I think, for an extra $1 or maybe for free, or with a coupon on Tuesdays or something.
Right.
In those days I was so strapped for money, like, oh, nothing has changed.
Yeah.
I was so strapped for money that I would go and do and find where the bargains were, and Hills had those bargains.
Right.
They had other bargains too. So then when it went out of business, like a lot of these stores, they had for like the last 2 months this going out of business sale, and a lot of people never went to Hills until that 2 months out of business sale, and they said, this is a really nice store. We should have gone to this store before it went out of business.
Wow,
I said, yeah, it wouldn't have gone out of business if you would have gone to it. More people, a lot of people. That's the problem with a lot of these stores. They never see this. They never go to the store until then. Remember Best?
Yes, I grew up there.
Best? You grew up at Best?
Well, I went there growing up. Yes.
Yeah, they never sold clothes. I remember, but they sold a lot of electronics.
They sold toys and
they sold and they had a great deal that if you looked at they always had a sticker price, and there was always the sale price, and the sale price was always above it.
Yeah.
And the sale price was always, they always took the sale price.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people who didn't know about Best, they would go there and see, and even that one a terrible price, but then they would see such a big discount.
Yeah.
So, I didn't know coffee percolators are so cheap. I would have bought more of them.
Yeah.
And I remember buying everything there.
Oh, wow.
I bought all my camera equipment there. I bought all my stereo equipment there. I even bought my sunglasses there. They had Ray-Bans, cheaper than anywhere. When you come right down to it, Ray-Bans are like the best. I don't care what anyone says about designer sunglasses. They're like the best. They're the most classic. And I still have them. I was smart enough not to lose them.
Right.
I got them at Best. I had about 3 pair of Ray-Bans, 3 different styles.
Yeah.
Wayfarer, Tortoiseshell, and Aviator.
Yeah.
The 3 basic. And they each cost me about, I think, at the time seemed like a lot of money, $40 or $45. They usually went for $100. And just today I saw them for like $200 somewhere else. And that was a sale.
Wow.
So, the Ray-Ban company kind of invented sunglasses for the pilots in the 1930s. They're a offshoot of Bausch and Lomb. And basically when you even go to the Dollar Tree and buy their sunglasses, they're basically knockoffs of the the Ray-Bans, and they're just as good for $1. You can't go wrong. There's no such thing as a bad pair of sunglasses. When the sun's in your eyes.
There's a lot of other places I remember when I was a kid.
Yeah, like what?
I used to like. I was trying to think of that store.
I remember a place you said Miller and Rhodes. I think it was Miller and Rhodes that the famous clothing designer Perry Ellis. He's from Richmond, or he was from Richmond. He died of AIDS, sadly.
Wow.
And he was like one of your first celebrities to die of AIDS. And he was from Richmond, and he got his start at Miller and Rhodes as a buyer or something. When he was in his teens. Sadly, in the 1980s, he died. And I think for many years they were kind of, his family, an old Richmond family, were kind of ashamed to mention that he died of this preventable disease that gay people get. When actually it's we like I like to think we have kind of evolved from there now that nobody deserves any sort of disease they get.
There was another.
But Perry Ellis got to start at Miller and Rhodes. Yeah, I remember the escalators going up.
Yeah, I like that. I liked it at Tollheimer since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
When you bought toys, when Santa Claus brought you toys, they're like, where did he shop?
He shopped even at Best or Bradlees or
Toys R Us.
Yeah, Toys R Us.
Yeah.
KB Toys, everything.
K&B Toys. I remember buying a whole. I think I was kind of out of toys by the time K&B Toys came. Yeah. They were in the mall, so you always got a good look at those toys.
Right. I used to work there for a while.
K&B. You worked in a toy store?
Years ago.
That must have been the most exciting job ever.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I liked being a customer there, but I didn't like working there.
Yeah, it's almost like you don't want to go where they make. You don't want to see where they make the sausage.
I was still working at the movie theater at the time.
Yeah.
But I just needed extra money.
You had 2 jobs?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never had more than 1 job. In fact, to me, 1 job is too many jobs.
Yeah, I quit KB because I was more happier working at the theater.
Yeah.
Than I was at my second job. So.
Well, you can see the movies for free, but you can't play with the toys for free.
Yeah, I know.
I remember as a kid, we used to go to these old-style department stores when I was a kid. They were all from places like New York and Chicago. There was one called Mason's. There was one called King's. Oh. There was one called J.M. Fields, which I think was part of Marshall Fields. There was the May Company. There was all these...
How about Hess's?
Hess?
Hess's used to be in Chesterfield.
Yeah, Hess. Center. There was Hess. There was Hess, and there was...
Profits.
Yeah, Profits, Peebles. There was...
Montgomery Ward.
Hex.
Hex, yeah, I remember Hex.
There was
Leggett, Belk.
Bell. Yeah, they're all, to me, all the same.
Yeah.
I really didn't buy anything at those places until they had a sale.
Yeah.
But you could buy good stuff there, but I always found good stuff everywhere. Because to me, when I go shopping, I'm kind of a pretty good shopper. And I do a lot of shopping. One thing I do is I'm always on the lookout for something, a good deal.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets ahead of me. I start to buy all these clothes because I love clothes so much.
Me too, girl.
I think I told you on the show, Mary, that I've never worn the same outfit twice.
Yeah.
I have about at least 50 sport pants and jacket combinations or suits.
I'm kind of the same way too. So.
And then I got hundreds of shirts.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I have hundreds of ties. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, all the pairing off of those 4 items, pants, jacket, shirt, and tie, mm-hmm. there's almost an infinite amount, not an infinite, but close to that, of how many combinations you could have. And thus, every time you see me, unless I'm wearing my tuxedo, and I have about 5 tuxedos, so I could even change them up.
I love dresses and jewelry and shirts and blouses. And
so you mix them all up too.
Yes, I love looking my best.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah.
Someone told me years ago, you are what you wear, what you put forward to the world. You know? When people, in fact, I remember in that movie, not Stand By Me, Lean On Me.
Oh yeah.
About Joe Clark about the principal.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman was
in it, and I remember he would always yell at the kids who didn't dress well. He goes, "Don't you have any pride to take in yourself? However you fail in life, and you will. You could say because you never took any pride in your appearance." I remember that. He had a megaphone. But clothes. I've always been a fan of clothes. And I found that clothes are very. Like for example. This is my own imagination, but I always feel if I'm dressed up and get stopped by the police, they will take it easier on me.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I've gotten tickets wearing a suit.
Right.
One policeman once said on TV that he's never arrested anyone wearing a suit. Well,
yeah.
if I'm wearing a suit all the time and getting into trouble.
Right.
Now the other thing is you have to be very careful when you wear a tuxedo when you're a man, because a lot of women, especially, are very wary of guys wearing tuxedos, because I always feel a guy wearing a tuxedo is out for trouble.
Oh, yeah.
He's out the party.
Yeah, at the party. Yeah.
A guy who wears a T-shirt and short pants is probably just going to stay home and watch television.
Right.
Eat potato chips on the.
Right.
You're not going to get in any trouble there.
Yeah.
And so yeah, let's talk about the old time department stores. I remember. Oh, I remember a lot of troubles when I was a kid. I remember like getting locked in the bathroom once at a department store for hours. They couldn't find me. They said, "Oh, I'll tell you another story. I used to always get lost in department stores." You look at them now as an adult. You can see how big they are.
Right.
But when you're a little kid, it looks like the mall.
Yeah.
One department store looks like the mall.
Yes.
So I would always get lost. And a lot of people would look down on my mother and father for letting me run wild, but that's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
That's always, as soon as you let me loose anywhere, I got lost a lot. People started looking for me. Search parties were out for me. Once I got so lost at a department store, I think it was a place called, like I said, Fields, that that I said, I wonder if I'll ever see my parents again. Maybe they'll be on the news, a picture of me, whatever happened to me. You think about this when you're 6, 7 years old. So what happened was, my sister Maeve, I was always like getting in trouble. They say, "Will the parents of Kevin please come to the please come to the front of the store. He's waiting for you," meaning he's lost.
Yeah.
So while I was lost in a department store, my sister, I heard on the loudspeaker, "Will the parents of Maeve please come to the front?" I said, "Oh, Maeve's lost too. I have the perfect idea. I'm going to go to the front." And then Mom will be there, and then we'll all get together and go home. Okay. So, well, the parents of Maeve. So I just beat everybody there, and the guy, with the tie and the short sleeve shirt and everything. He said, "Oh, you here from Maeve?" I said, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am." He goes, "Well, take her." And then he said, and then he finally had to give out. He said, "You're lost too, aren't you?" He goes, "Yes, yes." And then it was, "Will the parents of Maeve and Kevin please come to the front of the store?"
I bet y'all got in trouble too.
Nah. I got yelled at again as a kid. God, that's all I was doing. Everywhere I go, I got yelled at. I was like Ramona the Pest. I was like, I was always getting in trouble. I was like Beaver on Leave It to Beaver. I was always getting in trouble.
Every time that I was going to my mom,
Yeah.
she was always protective of me. Okay.
Yeah.
She'll be like, every time I would run around or something, and I'll ask her, "Mom, can I go look around or something?"
Yeah.
And she was like, I want you to stay here. Don't run around."
So you never got to see what the wonderful world of the department store was like?
Well, I did, but I had to be with my mom the whole time.
What was weird was when I got to be 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
I had more freedom, probably, like I said, like 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
At 11 years old, my mom wouldn't let me go anywhere by myself. I wanted to go to ball games by myself.
Yeah.
And she said there were all these weirdos and perverts waiting in the bathroom for guys like me. And I said, "So? I won't go to the bathroom. Don't bother me." I didn't realize what trouble I could have been in, but I didn't really think that, perverts hanged out at baseball games. But a funny thing happens when I went to a baseball game or a concert or a movie theater or something, was that I was there to see the event.
Yeah,
I was there to see the ball game.
Right.
I just love baseball so much. Yeah. So I would I was always like, I was always getting along. And those little seats on the shopping cart for kids to sit in?
Yes.
My little sisters loved being pushed around in those things.
Yeah.
I realized the few times when they first came out that I would sit in those things, I must have been like 5 or so, that it was a way to keep me there. Oh. And I did not like it. It was like a straitjacket to me.
No, yeah.
And then kids, I would see kids, just love being in those things. A lot of kids are like, wish they were invalids. They love being pushed around and carried and everything. Yeah. As soon as I learned to walk, I guess 2 years old or whatever year old, I was I couldn't I hit the ground running. Ready for the Olympics. Yeah. That was me. and I got lost many times. I got lost. Wow. My sister, I had a sister, Deirdre, and she was always afraid of getting lost. We were once driving all around this area, actually, looking for the dentist's office. There's a lot of one-way streets around here, and you have to go around and then go, and we could not find the half a block dentist's office where there was a new dentist, and we're going around in circles. My mom said, "Are we going to go around in circles forever? Where is this?" And then that's a kind of an easy thing to say. Are we going to go around in circles? My little sister, who must have been like 3, she thought, "Are we going to go around like this forever? We'll never see our house again." Oh! She didn't realize the end of the world had come for her. I didn't really worry so much about that. I always got the idea that my parents and all these people were like holding me back.
Right.
Yeah, we're lost. Yeah, I'll go for help, and then you'll never see me again.
Yeah.
I'll join the circus.
Okay. Right, yeah.
I'll always land on my feet, as I like to say.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I used to hate getting lost.
Oh yeah.
Like every time my dad or somebody tried, find the place, I'd be freaking out because I'm afraid I was going to be late or something to get there.
Oh well, I was one of those people that was always getting lost and almost reveled in getting lost. And usually when I was found, I usually got yelled at, not just by my parents, but by the teacher, by the other students.
Oh, yeah.
Said, we could have got, and they usually prefaced it like, we could have gone out for ice cream, but we spent the last 45 minutes looking for you.
Yeah.
So now nobody gets ice cream,
Yeah.
and you can all thank Kevin for this.
Yeah.
And they'll say, thank you, Kevin. Thank you. Thank you. And I would be so incensed at them and say, you're welcome. You're welcome.
I remember one time I went to study Point Nine with my friends.
Yeah.
I think it was in my 20s. I was old enough where I could just run around, look, and then she called the security guards on me. It was pretty embarrassing.
They called the security guard to arrest you.
I was in my 20s.
Oh.
And then she found me, and then the security guards came up, and then she took me home, and then she was complaining the whole time that she couldn't find me.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't see her anymore, but it was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe apparently she didn't know that, so.
Yeah, she thought. She goes, "Oh, are you just a kid? Did you have to get lost like a kid?" Do I have to hold your hand? Do I have to get one of those like little what you seen those little kids with those little jackets with the strap or the vest with the strap? I'm glad my mother was like, that's a great idea. We should have had that for Kevin. I said, no, you shouldn't have had that. So I was and I was, I think I mentioned this on a couple of weeks ago that I was one of those kids that never wanted to go home. I just loved.
Oh yeah.
I just loved going places. I still do. And they were, and of course, they would say, Kevin, you have to go home now. And you go, I think your mother's calling.
Oh yeah. One of the kids I used to play with, their parents wanted me to, one of his parents, wanted me to go home because my mom wanted me to go home.
Yeah.
I mean, I hated that. And I cried because I wanted to go over there and play.
Oh, well, yeah.
But instead, my mom wanted me home. So.
I always thought my company was just at such a high level that everyone would want to hang with me.
Right.
And then I grew up and found out the majority it is that way. Right. I'm the guy people want to hang out with.
Yeah.
And I was right. And everyone. I mean, there are people, but usually I'm smart enough if someone doesn't want to hang with me. Right. I say, okay, I gotta go home.
Right.
Three's always a crowd.
Yeah.
People always think that when you're in a group of 2 other people, how are we going to get rid of this third person? It's only a matter of time that you're the third person, and that's when you have to say, oh, "Okay, I'm going home now.
Right.
You enjoy you enjoy your staring contest at each other, or whatever."
Right.
Like,
I remember doing all that.
Yeah, I remember a kid. that every time he came to my house, he always wanted to play with Mr. Potato Head.
Oh yeah.
Which I didn't care for Mr. Potato Head.
I used to have both Mrs. Potato Head and Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah. So what would happen was I suddenly got so upset playing with Mr. Potato because I thought it was kind of a lame toy. I finally said to him, "Listen, I think you'd be better off with a friend who wants to play Mr. Potato. I'm more for running around in circles."
Right.
I used to love like hide and go seek and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would play hide and go seek and not be found.
I remember.
I'd stay lost.
I remember every time it's like my neighborhood friends would play with it, and played that every time we played.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. I got tired of it.
Yeah. Well, if you play in the same area, there's only but so many trees you could hide behind, or so many closets you could hide, or so many beds you could hide under if you're playing at home. So I mean, yeah, it's not you almost every time you play hide and go seek, you almost have to pick a different location, but that's not always possible. It's a nice game. If you don't need anything but wherever you are.
Right. Yeah.
I was always I remember like playing with kids. Some of the kids were evil.
Oh,
they would like everyone would get on the roof, and then they'd all come down, and then they'd say, "You know why you're up on the roof, Kevin?" I said, "Why? We want you to jump."
What?
And luckily, I was never. I was not one to succumb to peer pressure, because I think if I was a weaker-minded child, I probably would have jumped.
Right.
Especially if you're with older kids, because an older kid could always make a younger kid do almost anything. Eat garbage.
Yeah.
Put something in your mouth that shouldn't be in there.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, man. I remember one girl when I was like 8. She was a nice little girl. And she said, "Open your mouth and close your eyes, and I'll give you a big surprise." I thought she was going to kiss me. She put a dandelion in my mouth.
Oh no!
And only an 8-year-old would fall for that.
Yeah.
And I've never fallen for that ever since. But you have to be very careful. In fact, I always tell kids, don't hang around kids too much older than you. They seem cool, but they're not. They're just bullies for the most part.
Yeah.
They're going to make you do stuff you don't want to do.
Right. Exactly.
And what else? I remember stores. I used to get lost all the time. Oh, there would be the toy department.
Oh yeah.
Everyone would make a beeline. All the kids would make a beeline.
I loved the toy department.
Yeah, and we just loved. And I don't even know. I don't remember what the rest of the store was for, because all I remember was the toy department.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
We would play games, and we would. So my but that's kids still like the toy department.
Yeah.
So I remember back when my niece was young, she always would want to go to Toys R Us.
Oh yeah.
And we always found an excuse not to take her. It's closed right now. We can't, that type of thing. Yeah. Well, finally, it was like the day after Christmas, and I knew it wouldn't be crowded. So we went to the movies, whatever Christmas movie was out that year, like Snow White or something. Right. So I took her there, and then I said, "You know where we're going? Forget about the movie. Did you like it? The movie was good, Snow White. But we have something better. I'm gonna take you to Toys R Us, and we're just gonna have fun." And there was hardly anyone in the store, so my niece just ran up and down the aisles, opening boxes, looking inside. I don't think I've ever seen a happier kid than to be at Toys R Us. I have another sister who told me that she was disappointed when she went to Toys R Us, because remember the commercials had Jeffrey the giraffe on there? She thought she would see that giraffe at Toys R Us. She thought he was like the owner of it. Where's the giraffe?
Yeah, I think I used to think like that too.
I remember going to a lot of department stores around Christmas time, and there was all these Santa Clauses.
Yeah.
You go to one store to be a Santa Claus, another store to be a Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And you never, as a kid, put that together. And I remember once going to one Santa Claus, and then on the ride home, oh, I forgot to tell him I wanted Silly Sand. It's a toy at the time, a junky toy. So then I it's like Play-Doh, and so then like we went to a few days later we went to another Santa Claus, a different Santa Claus, right. And I sat in his lap and I says, "All right, here's page 2 of what I told you last week. I need Silly Sand. Thank you." And then I walked.
Right.
Never got the sillies. I didn't need it anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of times you see stuff on commercials, and you think when you're a kid, kids love commercials.
Yeah.
I
So did
actually I was watching some show with my nephews when they were real little, and it was on video,
Yeah.
a VHS, and I was zipping through the commercials just to get to the regular show. Ah, he goes, "You're not watching the commercials? They're the best part." I said, "I hate commercials." He goes, "Well, I love commercials." I said, "What type of commercials do you like?" He said, "Toy and candy commercials." So I know what everyone wants, and I want it too.
Yeah.
I said, I don't need commercials to tell me what food tastes good. I used to remember, like, even watching cereal commercials when I was a kid, that the worst tasting cereal always had the better ads because they knew they couldn't sell it on the taste of the cereal.
Yeah. There were these cookies that came out when I was a kid called the Giggles
Yes.
cookies, and they had like the cookies with the little faces on it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I used to love those cookies.
Yeah.
Every time that commercial come on, I'll be like, I want some of those.
I want some. I need some cookies.
Yeah.
I need some cookies out of a cardboard box.
Yeah.
I remember the cookies. There was always ads for Chips Ahoy.
Oh, I love those.
And well, I like them. They're all right. But now when I think of chocolate chip cookies, I don't think of those machine-made cookies out of a box from the National Biscuit Company.
Right.
And for some reason, but they're fine. They're all right.
Yeah.
What I really didn't like was Oreos compared to other people. People love Oreos. But for some reason, they always seem kind of machine made to me. Like not any human love was put into the preparation of Oreos. I heard a joke that what a ripoff Hydrox was because when they steal your idea, it was on a TV show.
Yeah.
You were Hydroxed. I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, Hydrox is a ripoff of Oreo." and then it was brought to the attention that actually I think Hydrox came before Oreos. So Oreo is the ripoff of Hydrox.
Wow.
But you would never know that,
Yeah.
You give the average person a Hydrox or an Oreo, they can't tell. I mean, if you blindfold, they can't tell the difference. Or I certainly can't.
Right. Yeah.
Well, thanks for talking around memory lane.
Absolutely. And we're going to get back to you just a few minutes. We're going to take a short break.